Good morning, everyone. Monday, 11th of October, 2021. How is everyone today? Join me as I have my beautiful lemon balm herbal tea with my turmeric, which is perfect for inflammation or for killing off any future inflammation. How is everyone today? Now, I know I haven't done lives for a long time. It's for a few reasons. Main reason being that I'm flat out, literally every second, and I needed to sit for 5 minutes to have my tea and go through my thousands of emails that I get every day and messages, literally 24/7 work in 2 days on over the weekend. So I just needed to, right, it's saying my frame rate is low. Well, I can't do anything about that now. Right, okay. It looks like Facebook's got a new live system on here, which I'm not familiar with. Never mind. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now, friends, while I'm having my tea, because my mind is constantly working. I've been saying from last year that whatever I share with you and have a chat with you, because I'm just having a chat with friends, is from personal and professional experiences. Because friends, for instance, if you're going through a divorce, you want to get experience from people who've been through divorces. If you're going through heart surgery, you want to you want to discuss with people who've been through the same heart surgeries, because there's different type of heart surgeries. If you're interested in yoga, for instance, you're going to ask people who are practicing yoga and say, what do you think of it? How has it improved your life? How has it not? It's like it didn't do anything for me. So this is what I've been saying from last year, is that everything that I say and that I share with all my friends, my lovely friends, and those of you who aren't my friends or just want to pop through, and that's okay, and just pop on by, is all from personal professional experience. So don't doubt it. Don't doubt me and don't doubt it. If you don't believe what I'm saying, that's okay. That's your prerogative. You can just go somewhere else and listen to other people that who you resonate with, right? So everything I say is from personal and professional experiences. If that doesn't give me some credibility and you guys prefer to listen to people who don't have the personal and professional experiences, that's your choice. So getting on to that, friends, because this is just a friendly chat. I'm not here to my frame rate is low. I know that Facebook, but there's nothing I can do about that now, meaning that the clarity is not good. Okay, I don't know how to fix it on here. Facebook has changed its settings. I've just realized here it's too complicated at the moment to change. Now, friends, if you're going through something in life, like let's say you want a job as an engineer, right? This is why they sent us to work experience when we were at high school, so that we could experience the work and see if it really resonates with us, if it's something we want. So we're going through a lot of major changes in life at the moment, right? Some of us are going through a lot, some of us are not. My life hasn't changed much because the things that are going on around us haven't impacted me. I've been physically isolated for years, started off from health reasons, and then I'm looking after my parrot children. So I don't have time to gallivant out there, restaurants, cafes, playing tennis, holidaying, living life. I haven't had a day off in 20 years. It's my choice. I've traveled the world. I've learnt what I've got to do. I've worked in so many places. I don't feel the need to do it anymore. Been to Monte Carlo a few times, been to France a few times, been to Greece a few times. I haven't been to America, never really interested in America. It just, I'm a beach person, so I need to be near the beaches. So I've travelled Hong Kong. I've been, I loved Hong Kong. I really wanted to make it my home at one stage in my early 20s. I absolutely love it. So I've been there, done that. Worked nightclubs, worked in the corporate world, worked in public sectors, my own businesses, investments, this and that. I've done it. I've done it all. And I've studied a lot. I have not stopped studying for over 20 years, every single fucking day. Study, 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 from real estate to financials to investments to alternative, spiritual, what else? I can't even remember. There's so many things I've done, just so many things. And all that has gathered evidence, knowledge in my mind, and I've applied them in the workplace. I've worked in real estate, worked, like I said, real work. Okay. So my question to you, friends, is when you're listening to people's advice out there or their suggestions, have you checked the credibility? Have you checked the knowledge? Have you checked like whether the things that they are saying may pose true? Okay, and probably do. They're just copying and pasting off Google and the media. That's all they're doing, just repeating what's in the media. But when you're following someone, like let's say I'm a counselor, right? I'm a professional counselor. And the certain counseling I won't do. I'll do divorces because I've been through divorces. I'll do sexual abuse because I've been through that. I'll do problems with step families because I'm going through that. I've been through that and I'm going through it, right? But I won't do drugs. I haven't experienced drugs. So I'm not familiar with drugs. And anyway, that's a chemical imbalance. So you need a detox first while you're doing the counseling. Um, there's other counseling stuff that I won't do because I should not counsel people when I don't have the experience to tell you what to do. So when people coming out of counseling school and they're trying to counsel older people or people older, older than them about life and all that, I'm thinking, how can you counsel me and mentor me when you haven't had the experiences? Books don't teach you things; they just teach you the theory, right, friends? Just teach you the theory. So the same thing is applying. I'm going to revert back again. How can you follow people in groups and individuals who are saying things but don't have the experience and the absolute credibility and know-how about that particular topic? Like our laws. You're listening to lawyers and people who are telling you things that are bullshit. The state of emergency is overriding, and now, right, the National Cabinet is agreeing in Australia to implement a pandemic emergency to override the state of emergency so that they can implement more harsher restrictions. I've said all these things from last year, friends. I'm not saying anything different. We knew from last year, and a lot of us knew from decades ago, 30 years ago, I knew what was going on, actually from a teenager, from 15, 16, when I met a lovely bank manager who told me, lovely family friend, who said to us of what's going to happen in the world with currency and all that. So a lot of us knew what's going on. And those of you who don't, I really don't know how you haven't educated yourselves or learned things along the way, but that's okay. These things happen. We get distracted with other things. Last year, you knew, right? Just like in Greece, everyone has to get forced donations in order to have work. So I don't know why everyone is surprised in Australia. Oh, gee, I've only got a week to decide whether I do it or not. I don't, I can't comprehend that. I can't comprehend that because, like, when if Saint Laurent, Gucci, and all of them are about to release a new fashion line, a lot of you know what's going to be released or a new food out there that's going to be released, how could you not know what's plastered all over the internet and all over and social media, right? Social media and even the normal media. And talking about the normal media, friends, I've often posted the past year that I love listening to my radio, watching great shows on TV because I'm not going to stick my head on Wi-Fi on the TV all day watching these shows. Everything that's on TV is on social media. Everything. I watch my grand designs. In case you're wondering what I'm watching on TV, I love renovating. I've renovated. I've semi-built. I've interior design, exterior design. Philip and I've been doing it. I've been doing it before. I've even done it to my rental properties, right, that I had or that I lived in rentals. So I love everything to do with buildings, right, and property development and all that. In fact, that's what I wanted to do. That's why I studied real estate. Anyway, the next thing is I love watching shows. There's great TV shows. There's great documentaries about history, about what's going on in the world. And the media, the mainstream media, has been telling us everything that's been going on and that is to happen. Now, if you choose to shut your brain off from what they are telling us, the National Cabinet tells the media what to say. And the Australian National Cabinet are the ones who decide everything that's going on in Australia. If you don't want to hear what is going on in Australia, what can I say? That's your choice. So, a lot of you contact me and a lot of you are good friends and close and whatever, and you say, Paris, there's only a week to go till we have to decide whether we get this done or that. I'm hoping that maybe the government changes in a week or so, and I'm thinking, what did you have for breakfast? Was it cornflakes? Was it Cocoa Pops? And that's to say it respectfully. And that indicates to me you have zero, you have learnt nothing from your life lessons. Because we all have life experiences, right? Some people more than others. But a lot of people choose to block their life lessons. We can have experiences, but what lesson have you learnt out of it? So I was thinking this morning, while I'm out there in the rain, because it was raining a bit in Melbourne, and I'm thinking we're going through a mass life lessons experience at the moment in the world. But like I said, it doesn't impact on me and on others as much as a lot of other you, because a lot of you don't plan. A lot of you are following the wrong people. A lot of you believe the bullshit of the wrong people. You've done a lot of things. You've protested, you shouted, you screamed, you've argued, you signed petitions. And I said from you last year, friends, it's going to get nowhere. It's going to get nowhere. There is not one person on this planet at the moment who has come out publicly to guide us and to mentor us. Because there will never be one person. There will be a lot of people, but there will never be one person, because one person cannot guide this earth onto a better world and a better planet. You see, there's a lot of us. There's me, there's you, there's so many other people who are doing a little bit for animals, for people, and for nature to better this planet. Because I haven't seen a God coming. I haven't seen a Jesus coming. I haven't seen an Allah coming. I haven't seen anyone, because there's no one going to come. There's no one out there. And I know that a lot of you are put off because you see me as anti-religion. I'm not anti-religion. I'm anti-modern religion. And I'm anti the bullshit religions. But I'm very, very spiritual. I mean, if anyone knows anything about me, you know that I talk to people on the other side. I connect with angels. I connect with spirits. I connect with spirit guides. I connect with people who have passed. I connect with animals who have passed. Right? So I know who's on the other side. And a lot of you are following clairvoyants and psychics who are saying similar things. But gee, you really can't read people, because these people are really steering you down the wrong path. Now, so I'm just having a morning chat here with my turmeric tea. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. I'm just telling you what I and thousands of others are seeing, but they're keeping their mouth shut. Now, friends, I'm going to revert to a lot of TV programs here for a reason. And then I'm also going to get to a big topic that most of us have, is osteoarthritis. And I'm going to refer to this book that hasn't got everything. I can't believe, Paul, the author, you don't even mention mold. I can't fucking believe it. It is the major killer on this planet, right? The second or the third major killer after stress, mold. So I'm going to get to osteoarthritis because I have a lot of it, and so have you, and you're developing it, whether you're active or not, or especially athletes that lack calcium, that can have all these injuries and inflammations. Now, friends, there's a lot of people who have planned their life from young, right? They were lucky enough to have parents and family to teach them how to plan their lives with education, financially, and what to do to have a more comfortable life financially. It's all financial. We pay everything with money, right? Our bills and all that. There's nothing wrong with money. It's how you use it and who you use it on, and and what you do with it. Now, I watch a lot of these programs, your $1 million listings, your Beverly Hills Housewives, your Melbourne Housewives and all that. And what I love about these shows, I'll tell you what I love, is that these people fucking work 24/7. They work 24/7. They educate themselves to the max. And I'm not talking about Harvard's, Yale's and all that bullshit. They're constantly learning. And they break their balls, and the women the same. Working. They don't acquire what they have, their wealth, from just sitting there and just complaining, oh, government's doing that, doctors are doing that, hospitals are doing that. They fucking work. And even on their holidays, they are working. Even on their holidays, they work. So don't have envy of people who work hard. I don't care what brotherhoods they belong to. I don't give a shit, because I know people, right, who don't belong to brotherhoods. And still, they've acquired investment properties. And by the way, friends, if you're renting, with all due respect, right, when you rent, it's not a charity. People who buy investment properties have you as a tenant to pay off the mortgage and any outgoing expenses. They're not there to look after your welfare, right? The world's not like that. They buy investment properties so that they can wait for the investment to appreciate, which means to go up in value, and then they sell it. And now at the moment in Melbourne, I'm not speaking for the States, probably the same in other states. We are going through a boom. So you don't buy during a boom unless you're selling in a boom, right? Because then you've got to buy another property. I'm assuming you may not want to sell your property, right? We're going through a boom, and the prices are so overpriced, it's unbelievable. So these people that a lot of people criticize, the elite and all them, they fucking work. And what they do is they delegate. They delegate their jobs to their cleaners, their assistants, their PAs, to their workers. Now, friends, if they are smart enough to plan their lives to live this way, well, I can't criticize that because I live similar to that. Millions of others are living similar to that. If I want a job done, I'll pay someone to do it or whatever. Like, I'm planning. I went through hell, in the workplace years ago, and I said, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. I planned. I strategized. Sure, I'm not a multimillionaire, but where I'm getting at is last year, a lot of you knew what was going on because it was all out there in social media, on Facebook, right? And this year, October, a year and a half later, because all this occurred from January 2020, in fact, from December, I knew about it from January because I listened to the news. You remember the cruise ships, when was it, in February, March, were screwed on the docks because they had the alleged cases, right? It's all in the media. Whether you watch TV on your computer screen or you watch it on your TV screen, I don't give a shit. It's the same stuff. Same stuff. It's all whatever's on TV is on the internet. It makes no difference. What, are you telling me that the Netflix movies are any better? They're all bullshit. I'm not on Netflix. I wouldn't waste my money on that. Now, friends, have you haven't planned. You haven't prepared for what the governments are imposing on us, from what the elite, from what and listen, friends, don't get pissed off with the governments and the elite. I don't know why you're pissed off with them. Your own fucking family members, husbands and wives work for the elite or are elite and they won't tell you. Your own anyone who works for the government as a contractor or non-contractor, you're supporting the elite. You're supporting what's going on in the world. So don't go blaming the governments and Dan Andrews and ScoMo, whoever. Your own fucking family members are supporting them. Right? Now, no one has protested against the state of emergency or this pandemic draft law. No, of course they're not going to protest against it. Because you're all following these groups like all these blinded fucking... I'm not going to even use the word sheep because sheep are very intelligent. They've just got a gun to their head and have to do it. You guys haven't got a gun to your head. You're following all these stupid groups online. And I'm probably the only one who's saying it, except, of course, for Lucky Lads and others. But Lucky Lad says that he's promoting the vax, so I'm not. Right? I support free medical choices, free work choices, free medical choices, free lifestyle choices, free relationship choices. Because, you got to face it, there's a lot of women out there with guns to their head in Australia who are, 15 and have to marry 40, 50-year-olds, in a lot of these customs. So, friends, a lot of decisions and choices made by people who are following the wrong individuals or groups are fucking up my life and other people's lives out there. But they're not stuffing it up as much as a lot of the middle and lower class. Because, and you know what, even a lower class person who doesn't earn much, or middle or lower middle class, still can plan. You don't have to be wealthy to plan. You don't have to be super rich to plan. You can be quite poor. Right now, friends, when I'm talking about financial status, I'm not talking about people who've got illnesses and health problems who can't work. No, I'm excluding them out of this because when you've got health problems and you've got, you can't, it's very hard to get yourself back on your feet unless you have people to help you, right? We are lucky in Australia. There's a lot of community groups. I don't care who owns them. There's a lot of community groups and community centres and all that. And we are very lucky in Australia that we have the Centrelink and the handouts. Because in most countries, they don't have that. They don't have it, I don't think, in America. They don't have it in Greece. And by the way, I've said many times in Greece, and I've got very close friends who have received the medical device and they are fine. Holidays, living their life, working, they're fine. I know a lot of people here who have also had it, and they are fine. Because, friends, it's not just this that affects our health. What else are you eating? What else are you drinking? What else are you breathing in? Are you living in a house with mold? Could be hidden mold. Are you eating meats and meats full of chemicals? You're eating fish full of mercury. I don't care where it's grown. All the waters in the sea are chemical. Plain water, it's got fluoride in it. You know, your eggs. I've said to you a million times. Eggs, no eggs. And I explain to you why. The laboratories use eggs to promote virus growth. And yet a lot of you still eating eggs. So the thing is, and the other thing is, friends, why the wealthy become super wealthy is because when they learn that this is white, they learn the lesson of white. But when someone says to a lot of people, you know, don't eat eggs because the eggs promote virus growth, and this is all in medical journals. I'm not saying it's in medical journals, right? And you're still eating eggs, well then don't complain if you get sick. Right? Don't get ill. I mean, I'll eat something and I'll know immediately it's got egg in it. I was eating some potato chips the other day. I won't say the brand. And I could taste the eggs and I just chucked it out. But it doesn't say it in the ingredients list, but I could taste it. Because I'm very, very sensitive. I can pick up. My smell is 1,000,000% sensitive and so is my taste. Right? So, friends, life lessons. What are your life lessons? And a lot of you have been asking me lately, Paris, what do we need? What do we do? What do we do to survive? Like, what are we going to do? And what I've been saying, get on with your lives as normal to survive. So if you go to work, work. And if you're in a relationship with you're both okay with health, because no one is 100%, I don't care what you say. You'll see it one day. You'll see it. I know you don't want to hear it, but you'll see. You might be okay with health. You think you are okay with health. Wait till the stress kicks in. You're finished. Right? You remember my words. Doesn't matter how well you eat. If you're smoking, drinking, drugs, and eating foods that you shouldn't be eating, it's not going to help. It's not going to help, including soy, by the way, because vegan diets are not great diets. The vegan diets have got high fats. They've got a lot of oils. You have a lot of olive oil. All these oils. You look at the fat content of oils, very high. That's a lot of pressure on our liver. And then look at the nuts. Nuts have got high oil. Soy. Keep away from soy and corn. I keep away from corn too. Right? They're the most genetically modified foods. Even organic. I don't trust organic soy and organic corn. So, friends, this is how people who are financially comfortable get comfortable because they learn from lessons. They study and they learn. They don't just sit there complaining. And they have health problems. They have health issues. I mean, like Steve Jobs was sick and he was still working. And other people who are sick still working. Yes, they've got their assistants because they can afford to have assistants, right? Because they built their life that way. I don't care if they come from rich families. They have continued on because not all wealthy people are from rich families. And a lot of wealthy families lose a lot of money along the way because it's my generation in the 40s and the 50s that are spending it like water and they lose their money. Don't think, friends. I mean, they're all living off credit and loans too. Really, they are. So, lessons of the day. When you hear something or see something, look at the credibility of the person. Look at their experiences. Look at who they really are. Don't go just following people because they're saying what you want to hear. Like if I say to you, oh, you know, have all the crystals, you can see some crystals around me. I've got them as paperweights, right? And they are beautiful and they've got some kind of nature's energy to them, you know. Or I'm wearing my beautiful orgonite that I got from this lovely gentleman, Stephen from Queensland. So I'm testing this to see if it helps me and what results there are. But it's not just these things. I've got to change my whole lifestyle. What I consume, how I think, how I speak. The whole lifestyle's got to change. So as long as a lot of you keep complaining and whinging and spending all your time and energy whinging about things, how about you spend that time and energy trying to better your life? If you can't work in that job for whatever reason, try something else. If you're a single parent, it's very hard. But you can still do it. If you got, especially if you've got support around you, family, friends. If you're in a relationship where there's no abuse, if there's abuse, get out. If there's no abuse, physical or mental abuse, you're in a relationship, I put the onus on men. Especially if you've got children, right? If you've got children, I put the onus on men. Men, get off your fucking fat, ugly balls. Because they are, really, when you think of it. And get out there and support your family. But you see, this is a problem now. You see, in my generation, a lot of men are expecting women to feed them, especially in the European cultures. They've been so spoiled, spoon-fed from their parents, they expect their parents, oh, we don't want our son to get very tired or stressed. No, the wife has to do everything, has to cook, clean, wash, look after the kids and feed the fucking husband. You see, this is the problem, friends. This is the problem. The problems have started from our close family unit. If you've got people who are toxic in life, just get rid of them. I mean, I met a lot of people online last year. I got rid of most of them. These are people that were closest to me as online friends. I've gotten rid of them all. I've blocked them because they were either undercover, which I knew from the start. They were either undercover, spies, or they just like to whinge and complain. It's not going to get you anywhere. So while you're all whinging, the rest of us are moving forward with solutions and becoming stronger. And a lot of you say, Paris, how can you be so strong? Well, if I don't get off my ass and do things, who's going to do it for me? See, whereas a lot of you are used to other people doing things for them. Now, I'm new to this new Facebook setup here. Planting my veggies and fruit trees and work my ass off for each day. Yes, I know you do. Yes, I know you do. I know. That's why we're very good friends. So, friends, this is the difference between people who achieve things, who are wealthy. And I'm not saying you've got to be a multimillionaire or billionaire. Like I said, I know the groups that these people belong to. I'm not talking about getting to that level. And this is why the wealthy aren't talking, aren't saying anything in Australia and overseas, right? Why should they? They're living well. Now, where's my jazz music gone? They're living very, very well, right? My jazz music decided to go off. And here's my Facebook here. Here we are. Where are we? Okay. They work fucking hard. Not just physically, friends, but also thinking. Constantly thinking. And they don't just go home 9 to 5, cook or put the TV on, watch things or whatever in the same routine. They work constantly and it is so tiring. But they are lucky that they have the finances to have their private masseuse, their private personal trainers. A lot of them, friends, if you look at $1 Million Listings, which I absolutely love that show, most of them are Jewish real estate agents. They have taught me how real estate agents should professionally be and how they should be treating their clients and the type of clients out there. I haven't met any agents in Victoria like this. They know their properties that they sell inside out. They're very respectable towards their clients. The knowledge is unbelievable. They work so hard it's not funny. So hard it's not funny. Right? So why should I be envious and jealous of them? If I want to live like them, I have to do the same. I have to do the same. And that's what I meant when I said earlier. If you want to learn something from someone, like if I want to learn how to make great vegan cakes, I'm going to ask my great friend Lisa. She makes the best vegan cakes ever. I'm not going to go and ask someone who just makes cakes at home, right? Because they may not know how to make the best cakes. Obviously, it's someone who's successful. I'll look at their social media accounts, I'll look at their photos, get an idea of the ingredients. You got to go to experts and people who've got experience, professionals in that area. So that's why I watch my $1 Million Listings. I'll look at the way and I'm thinking, okay, they teach me how I should also be with real estate agents. I've been looking for a property for 7 years. 7 years. Right? I've gone through the booms and the busts in the property market, the plateaus. I know what I want and I know what I don't want. Patience. You can't do things overnight. The problem is that a lot of people in their 20s and 30s, because I see it, I've got family like that, I know people out there, in their 20s and 30s, they want their new cars, their new houses, their holidays and everything. This is unbelievable. Unless you're from a very wealthy family, how can you live a lifestyle like that? I mean, how can you maintain it? Do you really think, I mean, I remember the lesson I learned when I was young. It takes 10 years at least to build a business. 10 years at least to build a really good business. And yet these online groups came on last year and suddenly got thousands and millions of followers. Have you not watched the documentaries on TV and on the internet where they show how you get all your fake followers, how you pay to get followers, right? And a lot of these groups anyway, they're all political groups. So they're all just getting the political members on to up the members and up the ante. I'm just having a chat now while I'm having my turmeric tea for my inflammation. So friends, if you want to do something, look at people who can mentor you, who have the experience and who've proven in their personal and professional life that they can also teach you things and tell you things to better your life too, right? To better your life too. And if you've got to quit your job for whatever reason, start looking for something else. I've been in this position hundreds of times. I've been sacked in so many jobs because I wouldn't fuck the bosses. I've been sacked many times because I couldn't stand the fucking bosses on my back. Not literally, but breathing fucking over me. I've left a lot of jobs because of the bullying and the crap. And because I learn like this. It doesn't take me years to learn something. I get bored in the same job for a year. Jada, stay there, please. Mummy needs some time out here with her friends. Right? So, lost jobs, move on to something else. Educate yourself, do something else to survive. Men, get off your fucking asses and do something. Now, Jada, she's climbing over to come over. I just want some time out, Jada. Now, friends, on top of all these stresses, right, these life stresses, like I said earlier, are going to impact your health. Doesn't matter how good your health is now. I'm telling you now. So I'm telling you guys ahead what's going to happen, right? Because I've been saying what's going to happen ahead. Not many of you are listening. If you don't look after your health now, I don't care if you're plant-based, not plant-based or whatever. If you don't care about your health now and really pay attention, stop the smoking, the drugs, the dopes, the cocaine, the heroin, and you're eating all this shit out there, including the eggs. If you don't stop all this stuff now, if you think life is hard now, if you think life is hard for you now, so if this is broken, so if this cup was broken now, right, I either glue it, it's never going to be 100%, I either glue it or I chuck it out and I get another cup. If you think your life is broken now, if you don't fix it, how's it going to get better? Or if you don't leave that life and create a new life, right? Because a lot of people get comfortable in the same genes, in their same life. Well, the life lesson now, friends, of the universe and of your angels is telling you, you got to change your life big time. Change your life big time. And you know what? Often there are obstacles in life that make us do that. Example, if you're in a relationship and you're getting abused, whatever, I mean, that's logical, common sense, get out of that relationship. Or if that person is encouraging you to drink, encouraging you to eat back things, drink back things, smoke and all that. I mean, you have that experience, you have the brain to learn that these things are bad for you. So if you keep doing it and then you get heart surgeries and heart problems and other problems and lung issues and that, then what can I tell you? I mean, we are living at the best time in humanity, the best time in humanity. Because we've got information at our hands that no one else had before. We've got all this information online, in the media, radio, TV. And friends, I just remembered. A lot of you are surprised by how the medical system works. I don't know why. Anyway, if you've got experience in the medical system and all that, you're not going to be surprised. You know how it works. When I was listening to from last year, 3AW radio in Melbourne, and Neil Mitchell was saying, he was actually calling, your Centrelinks, the COVID advice calls and all that, they couldn't get through. So I knew from last year that if anyone calls the government departments for these health issues, they couldn't get through. So I knew that. So if someone's got issues out there with this, or whatever related is what's going on. Um, you haven't been listening to your TV and your radio because they told us from last year it's practically impossible to get through the phone lines. So don't be surprised if you can't get through it now because this has been happening from last year. This is called the public service, right? And this is all over the world. This is all over the world. Don't expect Australia to be any more articulate or intelligent than any other country in the world. In the 80s it was. The 80s, they were the golden years, you see. That's when the stock exchange, people made a lot of money before the boom, the crash came on. When was it? 88, 89? I think I was around 17. I was going to the stock exchange then. I was studying a lot when I was 17 at the stock exchange here in Melbourne in Collins Street. Excuse me. So they were called the golden years because everything was working well then. Governments were giving millions of dollars for R&D, research and development, right? We wonder what they were researching. Just stay on my lap there, Jada. Stay on my lap. Now, friends, please plan, 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 plan. And you know what? Don't look at me. Don't think that I plan 100%. I can't. I can't plan 100%. I've got to go with second by second what happens with my parrot children. I'm constantly rescuing. I'm every day, constantly getting calls from people, emails from people, not just to rescue birds, advice about how to look after them. And you know what happens, friends? When I'm giving advice for bird care and bird behavior and the rest of it, free. I'm also counseling the people, most of the time counseling them at the same time, because a lot of these people have got problems with their birds because of their situation in their personal life, right? Whether it's health issues, relationship issues, they're moving or whatever. So I'm doing this every day, and these people really need help. But a lot of times what I've learned, friends, it's interesting. If you tell me, Paris, if you use this black pen 5 times, after 5 times it's not going to work. So I've registered that. After 5 times it's not going to work. I really struggle to understand why when you tell people something, right? When I tell people something, that friends, you don't do it like that. You don't treat the birds like that. You don't put them in cages. They still do it. If I tell you don't smoke because this is the consequences, and look at all the evidence all over the world, or don't drink, or don't think like that, or don't be negative, and you still do it. I struggle with that. And don't blame it on horoscopes, because we all have a negative and positive in horoscopes. Like I'm a Scorpio, right? You know that. I've got a lot of Scorpio and Pisces and Libra. I've got a lot of Sagittarius. I've got a lot of strong horoscope astrology in me. So the Scorpios can be really, really strong, like full force, go ahead. Don't give me bullshit. Black and white. You're not going to make me grey. I'm not going to be grey. No, I'm not going to be grey. It's black and white. See it and say it as it is. And then the shadow side of the Scorpio is the that can be very jealous, very possessive. So when we've got this shadow, this positive, and we all have these aspects to us, but when you know you've got a negative aspect to you, right? A shadow side, a negative shadow side. You work on it. You work on it. You say, well, I know I could be jealous, I could be possessive, so I back off. It's just like, I know I've got osteoarthritis in my feet, right? I know I've got osteoarthritis as a weakness. So if I use it as an example, I've got a weakness in my feet, in my legs, in my knees. So when I know I've got a weakness, I've got to strengthen it with turmeric or with other foods, and I avoid other foods. I strengthen with magnesium and turmeric. So we all have positive and negative, but this whinging and this negativity, that's because that's laziness. Negativity and whinging is laziness in the brain. I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it. Spoiled brats love to whinge. You might say, Paris, I'm not spoiled, I'm a sport. You are spoiled. Because people who whinge and who are negative have very often had someone else babysitting their kids, babysitting them, having others, their parents or others, doing things for them. They used to always handouts and other people doing things for them. But people like me and you and others, we don't have time. We don't have people around us to do shit for us. If I don't pick up their rubbish on the ground, no one else is going to do it for me. When I'm sick in fucking bed and I can't move, if I don't get off my fucking sorry ass, No one's going to make my tea. Well, unless if Philip is around, it's different. But if he's not around, I got to do it. And I still get up and do it because Philip's busy doing other things. So I'm not interested in whinging and negativity. Yes, you can tell me your weaknesses and say, Paris, I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling scared. That's not negativity, right? That's just how you're feeling. Or I'm feeling angry. It's good that you're acknowledging your feelings and but you work on it. And I tell you once, and I tell you twice, and I tell you thrice, and 4 and 5 and 10 times how to get rid of this negative shit from your life, and you still don't do it, you're never going to learn. Never going to learn. Never going to learn. You know, friends, I've read books. There was this lady, I think she's Australian. She was in a coma. She had a brain tumor. She was in a coma. She got herself out of that fucking coma. She got herself out of that fucking coma. There's a book. I've got to find it, and I'll see if I've got time to post it. What I'm saying is, I've been. What's that word? When you can't move, paralyzed for a day. I know other women who've been paralyzed for a long time, and if you see them now, riding their horses and doing whatever, you wouldn't think that they had issues. And why? They had no fucking support. And they did it themselves because, friends, the truth is that when you were spoon-fed, it's good to have support. Yes, support. But you got to work hard. Like a lot of these wealthy people that I watch on TV, people that I know and all that, they have support, sort of. You know that Ryan Seacrest guy who's on $1 Million Listing? He's a big real estate agent in America. He's married to a Greek girl from the Peloponnese. They've got 2 young kids. I've forgotten her name now, right? Ryan, his name is. I was watching him a few weeks ago and he was saying, you know, he got up an empty shell of a property in Brooklyn, some part of Brooklyn. And he was renovating it while his wife and the kids were in Greece. And he actually said publicly he has no friends. It's very hard, friends to have no friends. It's very hard to find friends because often they just want to use you. It's usually financial. It's very, very hard. I've been very lucky. I have found incredible friends online. I've got probably, when I'm saying friends, I mean really close ones, right? Probably maybe 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'd probably put around 5 really, really close ones. And the rest of you that I talk to, you're great girls and all that, but I don't want to burden you with my stuff. And you've got a lot of your own stuff going on. I'm talking about friends that are really, 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 that I can ring or say something and you're positive and you've got solutions. That's the kind of friends I want. I want solutions friends. I don't want negative. I don't want negative, envious, jealous, pathetic, whinging friends. I can't manage that. It's just my character. We're all different. We're all at a different stage. But if you don't want to learn something in your life to better your life, that's your choice. It's your choice. Like I said, I know people who've had this and they're still working and they're still holidaying, still getting on with life. They look after their health and whatever. Just get on with it, friends. Get on with it. Stop fucking complaining. Stop blaming this person. Stop blaming that person. It's not going to get us anywhere blaming. You're blaming the wrong people. You're blaming the wrong people when the Jews and other people who were caught from the fucking whoever, I won't say the name because it's on video, right, were caught from them and put in concentration camps. They weren't saying, boo-hoo, I'm stuck here, I can't get out. They were fucking trying to escape to live a better life, right? They weren't sitting there feeling sorry for themselves. Here we've got roof over our heads, we've got jobs, we're living in a country where we haven't got, you know, soldiers on our backs. And complaining, start using our brains so that we can do things in life. And a lot of you don't want to hear this because it's too hard. Takes away time away from your coffees and your lunches and your social gatherings and your rides in the park and your walks in the park and all that takes time away. Well, you can't do that. You can't get on with life and have that lazy lifestyle. You just can't do that. It doesn't work. It's just like friends. And you know that I say it raw. You cannot have children and work. How can you grow up small children, and work out of the house? Out of the house. Let me rephrase that, out of the house. You can't have young children, right, and work at the same time. Who's going to look after your kids? What, strangers? Right? You watch how your kids are going to grow up. I did an essay of this in year 12 when I was at Camberwell High about kids, and I should take it out and post it up there. You're having children to care for them, right? You're meant to care for them. Don't think you can go and live a jet set career unless you can afford housekeepers, and that's a different story. But if you can't afford to have people to care for them at home and feed them right and teach them and educate them and all that stuff, why are you having kids? Why are you having kids? Anyway, that's another topic. Now, I'm going to get on to osteoarthritis very quickly. Very, very quickly. How do you know if you've got osteoarthritis? MRIs, X-rays. I've done MRIs, X-rays. And I know other good friends who've also done the MRIs and X-rays, which shows, it should show, the radiologist is a good company. It shows if you've got osteoarthritis, and it's shown in my feet, it's shown in my knees and all that. And I thought it was fibromyalgia all these years, but I had the osteoarthritis, and it's like I struggle walking upstairs. I see these practices walking on the streets, and I think, I wish I could walk like that. I used to be a runner, not a marathon runner. I was a runner. I could walk, I could run. I was in the gyms all the time, not all the time. You know, I love my weights, I love my aerobics, my dancing and all that. I'm struggling because of my osteo. I can't rest it. I'm constantly on my feet, 18 hours a day on my feet with the work that I do here. So that's why I'm pumping it up with turmeric, which I've just discovered recently, and magnesium. So if you're having problems walking, pains in the feet or whatever, right, from sports injuries or non-sport, go get x-rays, go get MRIs and see, have you got rheumatoid arthritis, have you got osteoarthritis? It's very interesting in this book here, and I don't promote anyone, I just like getting bits and pieces of information. And friends, even if you exercise, you're losing a lot of calcium if you're running and all that, right? So don't think that you're super healthy if you're running. In fact, I never liked running because it does put a lot of pressure on the feet and the knees. Now, magnesium is a mineral that's deficient in many modern people who eat refined foods. Vegans eat a lot of the processed shit. There's no magnesium in it. And non-vegans the same. Now, this guy's saying approximately 70% of the US population suffers magnesium deficiencies. The same in Australia. And also, we don't have zinc in our soil in Australia, right? So you've got to pump up on the zinc. And that's why Australians have got so many issues, asthmas and all that too, and other health issues, is because, not only because of, doesn't matter how healthy you eat, if you're not taking in zinc, you're not strengthening the immune system, right? Foods that are concentrated in magnesium, you can get it as good quality. Not all tablets are good quality. Don't think if you're buying magnesium tablets that you're getting the intake of magnesium. There's a lot of brands that aren't really good quality brands, right? So if you're having your magnesium, it strengthens your structural aspect of the body, the structure. I'm coming, children, I won't be long. And the body's ability and to fight back chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, arthritis, and osteoporosis. So magnesium can knock back chronic fatigue, which I've had for over 10 years. I'm better now though, so I can talk to you. Fibromyalgia, which I've had for many years. Arthritis and osteoporosis, sorry, not osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. Arthritis is osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I wasn't getting my magnesium. I wasn't doing my turmeric. I wasn't doing my magnesium. And there are foods you can Google to find out which foods are high in magnesium. Now, friends, around 25 years ago, was it? No, it was 20 years ago. Around 20 years ago when I was living in Sandringham. Because you know I like to tell you where I lived and what I did. So you see me as a real person, not just someone online who's trying to spin your shit. And I was living in Sandringham with my lovely ex-husband, John. I was working at a place down there near Sandy Beach, if you're familiar with Sandringham. down near there where all the shops are down there, just, beside the bay, behind Sandy Beach, behind the Sandy Hotel. There was a little office. I've forgotten the name of it now, and I was working there for a short period. And what I was doing was, the lady that owned this small business, she worked in theatre, right? But what she was doing is that she hired me to cold call all the schools, mini schools in Melbourne, and I would get professional athletes to go to these schools to motivate. It was a motivation program to motivate the students about life, sport, and all that, right? But these athletes, what they all had in common were health issues, health problems. They had this chronic fatigue, they had all this, and they wanted to show the students that even though they had these health issues, how you can be stronger or develop a strength emotionally to be able to get on with your goals in life. So I was matching the professional athletes with the schools. So I'd be ringing the schools and say, look, are you interested in a mentor in this? I won't say names. This professional athletes, it's a secret. It's not a secret. Right? I just can't remember the names. To come out to your school and speak to the kids. I've forgotten the name of the program. I've forgotten the name of the program. Something to achieve. Something it was called. I can't remember now. The government would fund these programs. They're not funding these now for a long time. Right. So why I'm saying that is that athletes have a lot of problems, and if you research, they have a lot of chronic fatigue. They knock the calcium out of their body. They maybe not eating as well, right? And friends, like I said before, it doesn't matter how well you eat. If you put a lot of strain on your body, even if you're a size 8 or 10, if you're putting a lot of physical strain on your body, I mean, that knocks you out. And don't forget, we've inherited a lot of health issues from our parents, grandparents, and great grandparents in our bodies. So even if no one is 100% perfect, even if you're eating as well as you want, if you've got parents, grandparents who were on drugs, smoked, ate a lot of meats, a lot of dairy, which isn't good for the body at all, eggs, we've inherited all these. We've got these in our bodies. Nobody is 100%. Nobody is 100%. No one. So magnesium, don't forget your magnesium, right? Don't forget your magnesium. And there's a reason why I'm telling you guys this thing. Magnesium and turmeric, please, friends, pump it up. If you want me to tell you where I get my magnesium from and my turmeric from, just send me a private message. Only because I don't have time to get online to check the messages, my notifications. Now, selenium. Jada, can you just stay there just for a moment? I've got Jada here. All right, Jada, just come up here, but just stay here with Mummy, because Mummy's talking with her friends. Just up here, up here. This is Jada, everyone. She's a ringneck. Her feathers come and go. We're working on that, aren't we? With a lot of homeopathics. They come and go. Sometimes they grow, sometimes they don't. That's right. It happens with people too. Now, selenium, friends, which I haven't been having any of. Selenium. And I know a lot of you who are watching know this stuff. My memory is not good. That's why I write down things. My memory is focused on what I need to do, right? I have my memory with parrots and the work I need to do. So little things like this, I just read in the books. I don't want to overload my head with things I don't need to know off by heart. Selenium. Whole wheat, he says here, is the best form of selenium, or depends if it's GM'd or what it's sprayed with, right? Let's have a look now. If you don't have enough selenium deficiency can cause issues with the thyroids. The thyroid, is the computer of the body. You don't take out the thyroid. It's the computer of the body. There's thyroid imbalance in the US. It's probably because of selenium, especially amongst women who have 5 times more thyroid issues than in men. Well, friends, if generally women have got more responsibilities than men and more stress, that's going to deplete a lot of the vitamins that we're taking in, right? Okay. But this guy says here, Paul Pritchard says here, it should be noted that a single mineral does not work well in isolation. You see, I didn't know that. right? Each mineral works best in associations with other minerals and trace minerals. Isn't it amazing that even vitamins and minerals need a team to be effective? I mean, like, it's reminded me now, I've got to find out maybe my turmeric, because I'm testing and experimenting with my turmeric in my teas. Right, maybe because sometimes my turmeric works, sometimes it doesn't, and I'm wondering why. Just behave yourself for a moment. I love you too, Jade, a good girl. Selenium influences the transformation of thyroxine, blah, 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 which makes possible the metabolism of nutrients. So if you don't have enough selenium, is deficient, you have a sluggish metabolism, results in weight gain, etc. Now I'll get to weight gain in a second, friends. Toxic heavy metals such as lead and mercury get attached to selenium. Selenium releases it. So does spirulina. Viruses of many types, including HIV, are deactivated when we've got enough selenium. Premature aging, heart disease, arthritis, multiple sclerosis are often related to selenium deficiency. Now I've got to Google what foods have got selenium. Right? This is good for me because, friends, you know how I said I'm here to chat. I'm not kidding. Because I research things for myself and I'm thinking, I'm not fucking selfish just to read things for myself to better my life and my health for myself. I want to share this with my friends to better you guys. Because maybe there's something I'm saying here to remind you and prompt you guys, yeah, I've got to do this too. Right? I'm just saying. I'm not here just to get all the information and all the information and abundance for myself. I'm out here to share. Right? I know. I've got to go to the children. I've got to go. Now, friends, so selenium, magnesium, and turmeric. And I've got to find out what we've got to combine these with in order to make it. Now, this is the book that I'm reading it from. I've got a lot of books, friends. I've got a lot of books. I'm not devoted to any one person. Yes, I still do read The Medical Medium. I've got his latest book. I'll get to weight gain in a second. Right, because I'm really experienced in that area. 1 second. Where's the Medical Medium book? 1 moment. So I've got the medical, I bought the latest Medical Medium book here. Right, I got it 26th of April this year. I like to date my books. Now, friends, I got it because everything that the Medical Medium has been saying, I could resonate with most things. Now, behave yourself, Jada. Behave yourself. Mummy's talking to her friend. She's very jealous. She wants all the attention to herself. But what I didn't like about this latest book that Anthony wrote is that he is referring to this, to what's going on in the world, right? I was trying to find it. The COVID issue, right? He's referring to this. And he's referring to it as if it exists. Now, friends, we're just having a friendly chat here. Don't get your feathers in a flutter if I say things you don't like, right? Don't get your feathers in a flutter. See, if there was something really sinister out there in the air, don't you think we would all be dropping like flies? Especially people like me, I've got a very sensitive immune system. And there's millions of people out there who've got a very sensitive immune system. They know it. And there's millions who don't. So don't you think we would all be dropping like flies? Don't go off saying, oh, I've got a good immune system. No one has got a great immune system. No one. No one. You can't. On planet Earth, we do not have a great immune system. So I don't believe that there's something sinister out there. New. I don't believe there's something, a new thing out there that is affecting people's health. New. It may come, but there's nothing new. Because we've got bacteria, if I can use that word, in the air. We've had it around for over 100 years. All the pollution out there. And you know, friends, cancer has been in the human body for thousands and thousands of years. It's always been around. It's nothing new. We all have it. We all have nasties in our body because we're not perfect beings, right? We don't live on a high vibration planet. We're not high vibration. If you're of a high vibration, you don't have these issues. No one is of a high vibration on this planet not to have these problems, these health issues, right? So we all have these in our body. What happens is they get activated by eggs. They get activated by stress. They get activated by physical stress. They get activated by emotional stress. So when an athlete or someone who's in sport or whatever, has an accident, you don't even have to be in sport anyway, but especially these people in sport who really push their bodies. As soon as they have an accident, injure their foot or whatever, immediately the bad bugs in the body say, oh, great, there's a weakness. I'm going to go for you. I'm going to weaken you. That's how it works, friends. It's so simple. That's how it works. So when Anthony Williams started mentioning the COVID word as if it exists, I'm thinking, I don't like the sound of this. He's either trying to prepare us that it's coming, because there is no new bug out there. We would all be flat dead. We would all be flattened. All be flattened. We would not be around. This earth would have zero population, right? If there was a real bug out there. We know there's not a real bug out there because this bug doesn't know. I mean, how can this bug have a GPS system? It knows where Adelaide is. There hasn't been locked down. Knows where Western Australia is. No cases there. How can this bug have a GPS? Anyway, I'm not here to talk about this, but it's just that Anthony, you disappointed me a little that you mentioned it here. But maybe you are trying to prepare us for something that will come. Right? Hint, hint. I am reading, I've got all his books, and I can't see anything wrong with his books because I've experimented on myself, and what he has said so far has made sense with me. So I'm not promoting anyone. I'm just telling you that if you want to learn about what's going on, these are great books. Great books. And behave yourselves. And I've got a lot of other books here. Like I said, I've got Paul Pritchard. So what I do, friends, what you do is you get a bit of knowledge from this person, that person, everywhere, and you merge it. Whatever resonates with your experience, whatever resonates with you. Don't blind yourselves to just one person, following one person like a god, and thinking that person knows everything to tell me. It doesn't work that way, friends. Like me, I don't know. I mean, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. It just reminded me that I've got to match my teas and my vitamins with other vitamins so they can, it just reminded me. I'd read that earlier last year, but I forgot all about that in order for them to work right. It's a team. Vitamins are a team. Isn't it amazing how vitamins are a team? Now, friends, after health issue, because I've busted your balls over that, visions and ideals, right? I've got a book here, As a Man Thinketh, right? Visions and ideals here, friends. So you don't think I'm making it up. Yes, I'm reading it. That's why I put my glasses on. There's a great tea called Eye Bright. And again, if you want links for all these teas and all these things, just private message me. It's a lot easier for me. Now, the dreamers are the saviors of the world. The people who dream, they don't whinge, they're not negative, they dream and they manifest. As the visible world is sustained by the invisible, do you get that, friends? The visible world is sustained by the invisible, good spirits, good angels, and the nasty ones. So man, through all their trials and sins and vocations, are nourished by the beautiful visions of their solitary dreams. We are nourished by the beautiful, behave yourself. We are nourished by the beautiful visions of our solitary dreamers. Because we are solitary. I feel very alone at times. Very alone. So I've connected with people who also feel alone, and we get all our dreams together and our messages together. Humanity cannot forget its dreamers. It cannot let their ideals fade and die. It lives in them. It knows them as the realities which it shall one day see and know. Composers, sculptors, painters, poets, prophets, sages. I've forgotten what sages are. These are the makers of the afterworld, the architects of heaven. The world is beautiful because they have lived. Without them, labouring humanity would perish. He or she who cherishes a beautiful vision, a lofty ideal in his or her heart, will one day realise it. That's how you manifest things, friends. That's how you manifest things. Dream, create, manifest. No point bitching and whinging. Now, having said that, my Melbourne housewives who I watch are bitching all the fucking time, but they are working 24/7. They're creating and they're manifesting. Cherish your visions, cherish your ideals. Cherish the music that stirs in your heart, the beauty that forms in your mind, the loveliness that drapes your purest thoughts, For out of them will grow all delightful conditions, all heavenly environment. And yes, friends, I believe in heaven. I've seen it, been there, done that. You will remain true to them. Your world will at last be built. To desire is to obtain. To aspire is to achieve. To aspire is to achieve. You do not aspire, you do not achieve. Shall man's basic desires receive the fullest measure of gratification, and his purest aspirations? Behave yourself. Now, dream. Behave yourself, Jada. Behave yourself, darling. You are lucky you are sitting in Mummy's office while I'm talking to my friends. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. As you dream, you manifest what and who you are. So, friends, when you're negative and whinging and bitching, that is the person who you will become and manifest, and that is what and who you will manifest around you. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Here you go, we said it. I haven't read this before. Your ideal is a prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. We don't give a shit of what they're doing around us. And yes, it is impacting every single person. But we are going to be focusing on our visions and our dreams, manifesting that for our personal reality, our professional reality, our life around us. And those who make other choices and fall into the trap of following the wrong people and being negative with all these bullshit videos and shit that's going on online, right? That's their choice. We're going to manifest a high vibration life. Okay, friends, I think I've kept you enough. Jada is very, very impatient with me. All the children are impatient. The sun has come out in Melbourne. What a glorious, beautiful day. Go get some sunshine. I did say I was going to talk about mold very briefly. If you have no sun on your property, in your home, it encourages mold, whether you can see it or not. I can smell it miles away. I've rented in a property where there was mold. It is the second biggest killer, mold. So please make sure there's a lot of sun. Don't rent or buy properties that have no sun, because sun kills the mold. It's not just oxygen that you need to get rid of mold, it's also sun, right? Mold is everywhere. It's in the foods, it's in factories, it's everywhere. So be very, very careful of how you live, where you live, and where you choose. I can't believe people who have children and babies, I know them, that they actually live in houses with mold. I can't believe that. Again, it's lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. You know now mold is bad for you, right? You can see it or not. I can smell it. I walked in a property I saw on the weekend. Not cheap. Nothing is cheap anymore in Melbourne, right? As soon as I walked in, one step I took, not two, one. This place is full of mold. It's a knockdown job. Mold properties are knockdown jobs. It should be illegal, friends, in Australia, the world, Australia. Landlords and vendors should not be allowed to sell moldy properties. If they want to live in them, it's their business. It should be considered animal abuse and child abuse if you have a child or an animal in a moldy property. It's a killer. Anyway, friends, manifest. I've kept you more than enough. My tea's gone cold. I've got my teapot here, as you can see. I've got one of my teapots. I've got a lot of teapots because I'm constantly making teas. Have a fabulous, beautiful, high vibration day. Don't give a shit about what's going on out there. Well, consider it. Yes, you can't be blind to it. Consider it, but don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect you. Focus on you. Focus on your goals. Focus on helping nature, animals, and people who you can, people who appreciate you, people who respect you, people who understand you. Because we need to stick together, just like the vitamins need to stick together to strengthen our structure and our immune system, right? We don't have time for bullshit no more. I don't have time for bullshit. No grey, it's just black and white. Don't give me issues. You gonna say goodbye to everyone, Jada? We love everyone. We love everyone. I love you too, Jada. It's all right. She's strengthening her immune system. It comes and goes. It's all right. It's okay. I love you all, friends. Thanks for listening. Sorry it was long. I can't believe it's 10 o'clock. Have a fabulous day and speak to you soon. Bye. Bye-bye. Say goodbye to everyone, Jada. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Facebook is...